the a-hole for embarrassing my stepmom at dinner after she tried to teach me a lesson about my mom.
Bruh.
Yeah, obviously. It doesn't even make sense. Stepmom trying to teach you about your mom. Now, I, 18 female, live with my dad and my stepmom, 45 female. My mom passed away when I was 10 and it's still a sensitive topic to me. My stepmom came into the picture a couple of years later, and while we're civil, we're definitely not close.
Indeed.
She's always had this weird vibe, like she's trying to compete with my mom, even though my mom isn't here. She gets simpy when I talk about her or wear things that belong to her, like my mom's old necklace I wear basically every day. Anyway, a few nights ago, we were out for dinner with my dad, stepmom, and her parents. Her mom asked about the necklace and I said it was my mom's. She gave it to me before she passed. I wear it every day. Stepmom immediately cut in with, well, technically, I'm your mom now.
Bruh.
Oh my gosh. Woman, read the room, know your place. Woman, come on. I've done more mothering in the last 8 years than she did in 10 years. Oh, wow. Okay. It is understandable to be insecure about someone that's not there.
Is it?
Literally not there. But to do this, I just laughed and said, if you think being a mom is about trying to erase the actual one, then yeah, you've been amazing. That's actually really good. And don't try a teenager, they're going to lay it out to you. She looked like she'd been slapped. Her mom gasped. My dad told me to apologize. No. But I refused. I said I was tired of her acting like my mom never existed and I wasn't going to play along anymore. My stepmom is barely speaking to me and my dad says I need to be the bigger person. What? Oh, sorry. I'm literally 18. I'm actually younger. So no, I'm not about to be the bigger person because she's just trying to connect.
Bruh.
No. She's just insecure and trying to portray that so well and is doing a good job at it. But to me, that didn't feel like connection. That felt like erasure. Am I the a-hole for calling her out in front of everyone? Yeah, obviously, everyone thinks she's not the a-hole because, come on. She literally asked for it and she got what she asked for because this is the fact. There's women who can never be a second wife or, I don't know, marry someone who's lost a previous partner because they are always going to hold a person really high up and they're always going to be dear to them. And the fact is, if that person was not dead, they'll literally still be with that person. They only found you because that person was dead.
Yes, exactly.
So if people don't settle with that, you should not be marrying someone who has been married before. You should never be like a second wife or anything because that's literally going to be your reality. But to feel like you're going to get married to that and then start fighting it doesn't make sense. What do you guys think? I feel like she was absolutely right. OP was absolutely right in this case. And stepmom should probably do better.
Absolutely.
So am I overreacting? I found weird pictures in my boyfriend's iPad. I went out of town, she doesn't say why, and my boyfriend stayed home because he had to work. I came back and thought he was acting a bit off, so I checked his pictures on his iPad that synced directly from his phone. In his recently deleted folder, I found a picture of my side of the bed where my medication, book, and melatonin are. A picture of my desk, a picture of a printed out picture of my brother and I, along with a handwritten note that's on the fridge and a picture of our dresser. We are not planning on moving or selling any of these items either. I'm convinced that he took them so he could remember how everything looked before hiding them because he invited someone over. Am I overreacting? I don't want to say anything about it until I get a little clarity. So, is she overreacting? Now, this is already next level, given all of the stories I've read on Reddit so far. I mean, it's not been like, I've not done this for a year yet, but I've been doing a lot of Reddit reading, even before I started making videos about them. I hadn't even thought of it. Like, I haven't even thought of that way of cheating. The amount of effort that people put into cheating and not getting caught, it's exhausting. I'm probably too lazy for this. Like, he literally took photos of everything So like if she's not overthinking, which would be like hyper thinking, and he's actually doing this, that's insane.
It is.
Oh, so the first comment says something. Listen, if you really wanted to freak him out, you could say that you put something really expensive, like a family heirloom piece of jewelry, in your bedside table drawer and left, and now it's gone, and you think someone's been in the house. So you're going to speak to the neighbor, as they have ring cameras, so you can see if anyone broke in, to talk to the police. So she should say all of that and watch his reaction. And another person said that just say you put something somewhere and she didn't find it in the right place, and see if he goes to check his phone, which will mean that he'll be like, did I not put it right? And she'll know that that's why he put it. But like, I don't know, I feel like that's too much effort into cheating. What do you guys think? Why would someone put that much effort into cheating? Like, just leave the relationship and go and be with whoever and everyone, because that's too exhausting.
Absolutely.
Am I overreacting to think my wife is cheating?
Bruh.
Now, throwaway account, of course. About 6 months ago, I noticed an undershirt folded up in my dresser drawer. The weird thing was that the label wasn't from any of the brands that I have, and there was only one of that kind. I tried it on and it clearly did not fit me. Oh my god. Choose the same size when cheating. Women, come on, do better. Obviously, don't cheat, but like, hide it better. I assumed that it was an old shirt of mine that somehow got brought out of storage, and I tossed it. 2 months later, I find a pair of men's jeans, clearly not my size, folded in the top of the dresser. Why is she letting that man keep his clothes in her husband's house? Disgusting. Have some respect, at least.
Absolutely.
This was after I was at a conference for a few days. The conference was in my town, but I was gone from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. pretty much every day. I asked my wife about it and family who had visited recently. Nobody had any idea where they came from. Plus, why would it be in your drawer? It's only you and your wife that goes there. I started to suspect something was up, but decided that it was in the best interest of my relationship to just ask once and then trust my wife's response. I tossed the jeans and moved on. This morning, I found a man's polo shirt hanging in my closet. Oh my god. She didn't even learn when they're being too bold with this cheating. That's too annoying.
This is outrageous.
Not my size, and it has brand from a store that I don't shop at and haven't ever stepped foot into for nearly a decade. This only days after I returned from an out-of-town work trip. I confronted my wife demanding answers. She claimed that she knows nothing. I said, why have you not put hidden cameras in, I don't know, the entrance of your house to know everyone that walks in and leaves?
Oh yeah, this is a good idea. This is a good idea.
I started by asking her why she thinks I'm upset. She jumped straight to, you think I'm cheating?
Indeed.
I asked her to put herself in my shoes and to try and explain. Like, that's literally the point. If she literally found a woman's skirt that's not hers, I mean, half of the house will be burnt down, clearly. And then he's finding it again and over and over and over and over. That's literally not fair. I asked her to put herself in my shoes and try to explain how else I could interpret this pattern. Me being gone, men's clothing showing up in my house. She never answered the question. We already know what the answer is. Went back and forth, never screaming or throwing things, for about an hour with the shirt lying on the table between us. I kept saying, I don't know, it's not an acceptable answer. She ended up with, or what? I said I needed answers one more time and got straight up from the table and left to go back to work. Historically, I do trust her, but I can see how easily lies come out of her mouth when speaking to her family. I know that feeling. Like when you see someone lie to other people, you have to doubt half of what they tell you. Like, whatever they say, is it true? So it makes sense. She grew up in an overbearing household and she knows how to cover her tracks. During the conversation, I asked if I could go through her cell phone, something I have never done before or even tried to do. Of course, nothing of note. Something is happening. The pattern is clear to me. Am I overreacting? How can I proceed? Now, there's an edit. It says, thanks for the insight, folks. I've been internalizing all of these and trying to remain objective. It's easy to jump to a conclusion about cheating, and yes, the evidence does seem damning.
Yeah, it does.
There is some advice in the comments about next steps and many with different perspectives of what else could have happened. This has certainly helped me step back and assess the situation more clearly. We had a multi-hour long conversation. She called my in-laws about the clothing. I called my folks with the same question. I was giving her phone to go through again. I even did some digging with the ISP to get connected device and website text from cell phones. No answers anywhere. At the end of the day, I choose to not blow up my entire life, walk out, lawyer, take the kids and run, instead choosing to proceed with caution. If she's cheating, she knows she is going to be heavily scrutinized and will eventually be caught with actual evidence. If not, I avoid destroying my family over nothing. Lots of you will disagree with me, I'm sure, but this is my life and there are nuances at play here and haven't been or won't be shared. Now, obviously, everything is fishy. No family member is saying that this is my stuff. I accidentally forgot it at your place. And the wife's answer is not exactly clear. But the fact that she's able to open up and be like, you know what, have my phone, synchronize everything and do your checks, check websites, everything. And he hasn't found anything. She's either very good at cleaning her tracks or she's probably not doing anything, or I don't know. Is she sleepwalking? Is he sleepwalking and picking up other people's clothes? There's literally no explanation here. But there's a comment here that says that time to skip one of your work conferences, find a spot a couple of miles away, then come home about an hour into what would be your conference. Makes sense, because I feel like it will be really, really hard for me to just keep going with no clear explanation as to what happened, why this happened. It's not messages that IT can be messed with, but it's clothes in your own house. Come on. And obviously, I'll definitely have I'll buy teddy bears, I don't know, nanny cams everywhere in that house. There has to be evidence. So she would either get caught or he would have saved his marriage. But what will you guys do in this situation? It's a bit tricky. And I'd like to know your thoughts in the comments. See you guys in the next one. Bye.